All right, so we're on YouTube now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder if that's going to mean that videos can be watched more easily. Oh, that was a long delay. I'm going to try a video to see what happens. Can you hear and see that?
I could hear you. I didn't see anything. I missed it.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Hang on just a minute. Because we were sharing video yesterday and it was rather choppy. I wonder if this actually works better. Have a look. Can you see and hear this?
I can see, but
Yeah, I can't hear.
It's very low.
Hang on. Something seems to be wrong with my computer. I wonder if what about now?
And she called and she said,
Yeah.
I'm really struggling with how to write about you on the little flyer. And I thought, well, what's the struggle? And she said, well, I saw you speak and I
So that you can see it okay, the video, it's not choppy.
Yes, that's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
and the audio is good.
yes.
I'm going to plug in my mic again and headphone. See if we get the. See, tell me if you can hear this well again or not. Here we go.
No.
I cannot hear you.
So I'm going to connect my Bluetooth. Oh, that's connected. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay. So I'm going to put on the video now and see what happens. Tell me if you can hear it.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Now?
Nope.
Okay. So it would seem that just you need to use just regular computer microphone and speakers. Right, is everybody here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're missing 2. Can anybody pick up who's missing? Manny, you there? Oh, there you are. Yep.
Keisha said she'll be running a little late.
Okay, and anybody, people with your field study team members, can you pick up on who's missing?
I don't know how to see. participant.
No? Anyway, it's 4:30, so let's get going.
I think
Since we're
is
gonna-
Rohan here?
I don't think Rohan.
Rohan. No, you're right. Okay, anyway, we'll get to them in a minute. Hopefully they'll be here because I don't want to start the panel review of the articles. You've all had a chance to read the articles.
Yes, some of them.
This is an important exercise, and we're actually jumping ahead a week, which means that we can get that out of the way. It'll be very useful to you as you go building your own work in the field study to have a look at some very good pieces of research, qualitative studies, and to have a look at different ones so that we see how they've actually done things in real life, so you can then translate those into your own protocols. I've just been looking at the field study protocols. They're looking pretty good. Some of you have already started doing your interview questions and plugging them in. Everybody should be doing that. So start writing your interview questions, refining your research questions, sub-questions, and then connecting interview questions to the research questions, and just put them into that paper, into the draft. One group has actually, hi Ron, one group has actually rewritten their purpose statement. I would suggest, and I put my notes in there, don't do that. Just keep one version, not two. If not, it's going to start piling up. So clean up that paper. Just leave the single version with the best pieces for each section of the draft. And then you go building and adding to that. Unless you have a specific assignment that I tell you, this has to go up in Canvas, everything you go doing for the field study, just keep adding it to that Google Doc, okay? Any questions on that? Anybody stumped somewhere? Purpose statement, background of the study, conceptual framework, you should be working on that. So the significance of the study, why it's an issue, why you want to work on it, these kinds of things are going to be going into that section of the conceptual framework. And obviously we're diving into now the methodology. So that first piece should be now in fairly good shape as a draft. So that first piece, which is the purpose statement, the background, any kind of introductory, significance, and that should also be cited in the research, from the research, particularly from the Merriam text. But the Merriam text, you're going to be using more of that in the methodology section. So those are the two big pieces. So the first part, you'll have all of the things I've just mentioned, plus your research questions. You won't be putting your interview protocol there, or your document analysis, or the other thing, the observation. That will all be going into the methodology, including the sampling plan and the site selection. All of that we can leave for the methodology section. Those of you who are doing a PhD, you'll be writing a first chapter, which will include a shorter version of everything, including the sampling plan and the site selection and why, the rationale. All chapter one actually summarizes the whole study, at least the, shall we say, the basics, not the actual findings. For the purpose of this work, you're just using the first part for the introductory or the research questions. Then we get into the data, the analysis, and the actual research design. Okay? Moving on. So, I don't know if we can wait any longer. I want to give you about half an hour to actually work with your team on an article to actually prepare it for presentation. I don't know if you can actually go to module 4, and let me share my screen. You need to look for this document in module 4. So the article, the panel review, the handout, which in the module is module 4. We got two pieces. The article review here, This is not an assignment to be uploaded. This is just a discussion panel for the class. And if you go down here, oh, it's not. Why is it not here?
Oh, it's in the article review one.
Okay.
Go back to the other one, and then it says article review in class at the top.
Mm-hmm. All right. So here.
Yeah.
Oh. Correct. So if you go to let's see if it's in module 4, article review. Yeah. So if you go to module 4, go to article review, here are the 5 articles, and here is the actual handout, this one. So I wanted to go quickly through this so you're very clear on exactly what that's all about. So I'm going to be dividing you in the breakout rooms by your field study group. So you can get an experience with the members of your field study on how to analyze a piece of research. It doesn't really matter whether it's a case study or a narrative or a phenomenology, that doesn't matter. What we're looking for is these things. And what the end product is that I'd like one of you in each field study team to assign the role of presenting your findings on the article back to the whole class. Okay?
Okay.
So let me stop share so I can get everybody back on screen. Okay, now I can see you all. So you'll be going off to discuss the article. You'll go through the different sections of that handout, and I'll walk you through it very quickly in case there are questions. You're coming back to the plenary, which is everybody here is actually the board of this particular academic journal, that we have to decide whether these 5 articles are worthy of publication or not. So it is your job as a group, when you discuss the article, your article, to determine whether it is ready for publication, or if it can be published if some more work is done and you need to make recommendations, or if directly you reject it for publication. That make sense? This is the process that any of you, if you submit an article to a journal, will go through. Your article will be sent out to peer reviewers who will read it, make a critique, and either reject, accept, or accept with conditions. And that's the process. So you need to choose one of you will need to come back to the plenary as the panel member who will present your findings. So you need to create some sort of summary, and I'll walk you through that. And then I'd like somebody who might want to volunteer as our editor-in-chief to moderate the whole process. Anybody wanting to take on that role? It's a great role because if you, I'd encourage anybody who's in the PhD program to think about this. You will at some point have the opportunity to become a discussant in a conference. And do you know what a discussant is? It is the person that moderates the presentation of a piece of research, who then opens up the floor to questions and answers and moderates the dynamics of that group. And this would be equivalent to the editor-in-chief of this board here, wanting to publish articles in a journal that's suitable for this kind of work. So somebody in the PhD program? Vince is just smiling so much. You're just dying to volunteer. You're scared to death.
So
Okay.
what is it that we would have to do as the discussant? As that you said?
Well, similar to what the editor-in-chief is going to be doing, you actually introduce in a conference, you introduce the speaker, you maybe
Okay.
present a brief bio, then you obviously you give the speaker the 15-20 minutes they have to present their research. Then once they finish, you open up the floor to questions and answers, comments, suggestions, critiques, and you manage the flow of questioning and answering in that room, in the breakout room at a conference.
Okay,
sense?
I can do that. So you need one person from each group to be this?
No, I need one person from each group to report on the article.
Mhm.
One person to act as the discussant for the whole plenary for the 5 articles.
Oh.
Right? You want to do that with me, Jessica?
Sure.
Okay, there you go. You're off the hook, Vincent.
You're gonna have to walk me through that a little bit, but okay.
Yeah. Once you learn it, it's easy enough. Okay? You'll just be inviting each of the panels to actually have their person obviously present on their particular article. And they will be presenting, and let me share my screen again. If you have the handout yourself, you
Mhm.
can see it. And if not, we'll be going through this. So you'll be going away each with your article, and we'll decide who takes what. What you want is we're going to be the reviewers for the prestigious journal, which is all of us. And each panel, a smaller panel of 4 or 3, will be presenting this article that you've reviewed to the bigger board, which is this, and we will make the final decision.
Okay.
So you've been asked in your small group of 3 or 4 to actually work with the reviewers on a panel to critique one assigned research article under consideration, which will be one of those 5. And obviously there's an assumption these are good articles. So you will discuss that article in your group in the breakout room following these guidelines. 1, what is the research design? Is yours a narrative inquiry, a case study, phenomenology, grounded theory, or the other one? Ethnography, I think. So you'll actually provide from Merriam and Tisdale how you define that approach. Then you will go through very quickly. I mean, it's clearly a 5-minute process when you report back. It'll take you 30 minutes to talk about it. But when you report back, we want a very, very short 3 to 5 minute summary of this is what this study was using this approach, which is this. And then was there a clear purpose or not? Give us the research questions. Was the design appropriate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Does that make sense? Are there any pieces missing in the article from the elements? So when you compare this to your field study, this is the first part of your field study. Then we get into the design, the methodology. So do we know enough about the sample, about who they actually interviewed or did a focus group with? Do we have demographics? Was there clear criteria for selecting the, etc.? You know this stuff by now, right? And if you don't, go to the textbook and look it up. So what we want is just for you to go through these sections. So after you've done the methodology, well, the findings, are they clear? Are they important and significant? Are they coherent? Do we believe the process? Why or why not? So your job is to critique, not just to summarize or tell us, to describe. It is also to make a critique, to say, oh, this was very strong. There were some areas here that were not strong, and you need to tell us which ones and why. And finally, you will recommend your panel, your mini panel will recommend the study for publication, or you will actually nix it. So you will conclude the recommendation to publish, revise and resubmit for publication, or reject based on your critique. And then when you come back, you'll be give the definition of the study design. This is what I call the thumbnail sketch, 3 to 5 minutes, so that there is an assumption we've all read the articles, right? This isn't the first time you're going to be exposed to it. And so Jessica, and with my help, will actually facilitate this process, the editorial review process, and we will ask everybody, once we've been given that summary, if we have any discussion before we vote. Questions? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Does everybody have at least one copy of the handout? to make sure that you can go through it. And then you all have the articles, they're all published there in assignments, they're in that discussion. And so all I need to do is to set you up in your groups. So let's go through this quickly again. We've got 5 rooms, and I'll do this manually. Create the breakout rooms. So let's go to number 1. Rebecca, you with who's in your field study?
Manny and Melissa.
So, Melissa and who else? Manny?
Yeah.
Okay. Off you, that's 1. Brooke, who are you with? Kalila and Keisha? Brooke? Brooke, are you there?
I am. I had to unmute. Yep. Keisha and
Keisha and Kalila?
correct.
Kalila, you say Kalila or Kalela?
Kalila.
Kalila's good, okay.
It's Kalila. Thank you.
Kalila, there you go. Breakout room 3. Coley, you with?
Rohan and Wes.
Rohan and
Tusk.
yeah, Wes. You're going to tell us about Tusk sometime, Wes. Erica, you with?
With Vincent and
I will.
Laura and Jessica.
Okay. Last but not least, is correct, Jenny, Laura, Samantha, and Zach. We right?
No, not Laura.
Sorry, what about Laura?
She's not in our group.
Oh,
I'm
Laura?
with Erica and Jessica and Vincent.
Yes.
There you go. Right, I think everybody's in the right room. I'll drop by. Are you all ready to go?
Which articles are we doing? Are we picking?
Oh, good point. So group 1, let me just share again. So, group 1, the case study, campus response to student gunman. Okay. Group 2, phenomenological research, the wounded leader. This is by our senior professor, Pat Maslin-Ostrowski, very famous book, actually bestseller. The ethnography, group 3. The narrative, group 4, and ground theory, group 5. We good? Okay, I'm gonna open all rooms.
How do
Any
we know
other-
which number we're on?
Yeah, because
You
we
mean
usually go by
alpha,
alpha,
delta?
The Greek
gamma.
alphabet. I think we're
I'm
5.
sorry, unfortunately, the breakout rooms don't go that way.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Oh,
group 5.
Group 1, let me go back. Group 1, which will then have the first study, will go by that number that are in the list. So Rebecca, Manny, Melissa, the case study. Group 2, Brooke, Keisha, and Kalila doing the phenomenology, the wounded leader. Group 3, Coley, Rohan, and Wes doing the ethnography. Group 4, Erica, Jessica, Laura, and Vincent doing the narrative research. And group 5, which is everybody else, Jenny, Samantha, and Zach, you're doing grounded theory. Good. Any other questions? Have I missed anything else? We ready? So it's 4:49. At 5:10, we will reconvene. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
4:49. That's 10 to 5. Sorry. Let's make it 5:15. We reconvene.
Okay.
25 minutes. Questions?
No.
Off you go. I'll check in. Keisha, can you go to your room? Keisha, can you hear me? Oh. Hello, Keisha. Keisha, can you hear me?
Hello.
Oh, hi, Keisha.
Yes, I got kicked out accidentally.
Right. Can you go into your breakout room?
I don't know how to do that.
Okay. Can you see what's on my, hang on, let me share. You should be able to see, can you see this?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, so breakout room 2, you should be able to find this in your Zoom and join breakout room 2.
Okay, so where do I find the rooms?
Go down to the bottom if you can't see it on screen and look at where the little dots are on the towards the bottom right.
On the right, it says I have reactions, record, chat, share screen, participants, and invite.
And there's no little dots?
No, it tells me, it says the host has open breakout rooms. Please wait to be assigned. So you might have to assign me again.
Okay. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Here you are. Assigned to breakout room 2. 2 is correct. Yep. Okay, you're assigned. Oh, there you go.